Welcome to Chris and Laura. I hope everybody had a great Mother's Day weekend. Today we are going to attempt something that I have not been very successful at in the past, but I'm really hoping today that I will be able to accomplish making a loaf of white sandwich bread. I never been able to get them to pop up the way that they're supposed to, but I've been watching videos for a while now, so I'm going to use my bread machine this time and see if I can make that a go. Next time I might try it by hand, because I've been looking at this other recipe online that I might give it a try, but for today we're going to try this direction. So alright, here we go. We're gonna get started here. Right here I have 1.5 cups of warm milk, and it said room temperature, but I really felt like it needed to be a little bit warmer than that, so I warmed it up to just a little bit warmer than what you would give a baby. Just a little bit warmer than that. It's not burning or anything, but so we're going to put the 1.5 cups of milk in the bread machine. Then we're going to do 1.5 teaspoons of salt. My husband asked me one day why I hold my measuring spoons like this. And I guess it's just because I've overfilled so many times that my fingers will catch the spills. Alright, then we've got 2 tablespoons of sugar. I saw in the comments somebody said that they replaced 1 tablespoon of the sugar with 1 tablespoon of honey, so I'm going to do that. This is how I taught myself how to make more of the homemade food for my family. Is I would think of something, and then I would go to my phone and I would look it up online, and I would find videos, and I would watch video after video after video of everybody making the same thing, but everybody has a different way of doing it. So that I would watch all of them, and then I would gather up ideas from each of them on how to do it. I would kind of combine them. The more I would make it, the more I would experiment with it. But that's how I do it. And I've said in the past that, I wasn't really taught how to cook, but, I remember seeing my mom make homemade pies and stuff like that. And my dad we would walk home from school, and a block from the house you could smell cinnamon rolls, and it was my dad. He made some homemade cinnamon rolls for us. So I know that they did it. I was just too young. I wasn't in the kitchen with them. If I was in there, I was just annoying them. I wasn't helping by any means. And then I moved out when I was 16. Chris and I got together, and I moved out when I was 16, so I really, boy, could I make a chili dog from a can of Hormel chili, though. First time I made tuna casserole, I forgot to put tuna in it. So that's just, live and learn, So that is how I've taught myself how to not make the same mistakes over, or try not to anyways, and watch a ton of videos on how to make it from scratch, so that way I could try to provide it. And then a lot of ugly misshaped bread has been eaten by my family, but they still like it. Alright, here's 2 tablespoons of butter, and you want that at room temperature also. And I kind of just cubed it up. But yeah, Chris and I, we have our wedding anniversary coming up the end of this month. It'll be 31 years that we've been married, 32 years together, but It's been a ride. He has ate so many shoe leather pork chops, chicken, tunaless tuna casserole. Alright, right here we have 3.5 cups of all-purpose flour. You can use bread flour too. And I made a little well there. Now we're going to do 1.5 teaspoons of, I have active dry yeast here is what I'm using. I'll go just a little overboard. Maybe that's why nothing ever turns out. I always think it needs more. Okay, so we've got everything put into the bread machine container. So we're going to go put this into the bread machine. It'll take an hour and a half to mix it and knead it and let it rise and everything. So when this is done in an hour and a half, we will come back and see if we can form some bread dough. So we'll see you back here in just a little bit. Alright, so our bread dough is done. It's kind of falling now since I've taken it out, but we're going to get it out onto a floured surface here. It really poofed up in that bread machine. It was really trying to come through the lid. Alright, so there is the dough on a lightly floured surface. And it says to cover it with a tea towel for about 15 minutes. Alright, so our 15-minute rest period is up, so we'll take the cover off. This looks pretty intimidating. Alright, so we're going to cut it in half, and hopefully I'll weigh it out and make sure I have 2 even loaves. I'm going to scrape this one up into a ball. Well, not too bad. That one was 15.7 and this one was 15.8. Alright, so now, this is the part I've been watching on videos. Getting all the air out of it. And we're gonna roll it up nice and tight, tucking the ends in as we roll. There. A little more flour for this one. Do the same thing. Kind of form it out into a rectangle and pop all the air holes and air bubbles and stuff. Tuck it. That in our pan. Right, now I'm going to put these into the oven and let them just hang out there for about 30 to 45 minutes. Let them at least double in size again. Alright, so we'll let those hang out for at least half hour, 45 minutes or so, and then we'll be back when they're ready to bake. So we'll see you back here in just a little bit. Alright, so these have more than doubled in size. Okay, so we're going to turn the oven on 350 for about 35 minutes or until they're a light golden brown on the top and they sound hollow when you tap on it. So we will be back and see what those look like. It's looking promising so far, so getting pretty excited. We'll see you back here in just a little bit. Alright, so they are just about done. Well, they are done. Even the air bubbles hollow. Alright, so we're going to take them out. I'm really hoping they're not burnt. Alright, so I'm going to put just a real light layer of butter on these while they're still hot. I don't want to do too much just because we're going to use it for sandwich bread. But I don't want the crust to be too crusty. Got a few bubbles here. I think that looks good, doesn't it? Alright, we're going to let those sit for just a few minutes, and then we're going to pop them out onto the cooling rack. But we'll let them sit for just a little bit here. So we'll be back in just a few minutes. Alright, so we let these sit for just a little bit when they came out of the oven. We're going to put them out here on the cooling rack. That's so soft. Do you see that? That looks like a loaf of bread. I'm so excited. Now this one's got a few issues. Still looks like bread though. Just a few dimples on it. Here we go. We got 2 loaves of bread there. I'm so excited. I can't believe that. Okay. That's exciting.
Are you going to cut into it?
We are going to let them cool. They're still really warm. I don't want to ruin it. So we're going to let them cool down. We've got the window open. So as soon as they're cooled down, we will come back and slice into it so we can see what the inside of it looks like. So we'll be back in just a little bit. All right, well, our bread has cooled down enough. We're going to slice into it and see what happens here. But look at that. That's going to make some nice sandwiches. Hopefully. We'll see what the inside looks like. We got an air bubble in there, but nothing you can't fill a little.
Nothing you can't fill with cheese.
Cheese and mayonnaise. But here you go.
Well, that one was bubbly to begin with.
Yeah, it was. I don't think I worked the air pockets out, but
how's it taste, Destin?
It doesn't look bad though. It's pretty springy.
Crust is kind of chewy.
Yeah.
Really good though.
All right, well, I hope you enjoyed watching my bread making adventures today. But I'm really pleased with it. I'm glad to see that it looks like it turned out pretty good. So I'll put the recipe that I used down below so you can try it too if you'd like to. So, all right, thanks for joining us. We'll see you later. Bye.